Hey everyone, many of you plan to sell your house in 2022, and you may think the wise thing to do is to wait until the spring buying market, since historically about 40% of home sales occur between April and July. However, this year is expected to be much different than the norm, and I have 5 reasons to list your house now rather than waiting until the spring. The first one is buyers are looking right now and they're ready to purchase. The Showing Time Showing Index reports data from more than 6 million property showings scheduled across the country each month. And in other words, it's a gauge of how many buyers are out looking at homes at the current time. The latest index, which covers November showings, reveals that buyers are still very active in the market, comparing this November's numbers to previous years, and the index is higher than last year and much higher to the previous 3 years before the pandemic. And so clearly there's an influx of buyers searching for your home. And also, at this time of year, only those purchasers who are serious about buying a home will be in the market. You and your loved ones aren't going to be inconvenienced by just casual searchers. Freddie Mac addresses this in a recent blog post. The buyers who are willing to house hunt in a winter market when there are fewer options are typically more serious, and plus year-end bonuses and overtime payouts give people more purchasing power. And that theory is proving to be true right now based on the number of buyers who've put a home under contract to purchase. The National Association of Realtors publishes a monthly pending home sales index, which measures housing contract activity, and it's based on signed real estate contracts for existing single-family homes, condos, and co-ops. And the latest index shows that housing demand continues to be high, and homes placed on the market for sale go from listed status to under contract in approximately 18 days. So comparing the index to previous Novembers, while it's still slightly below November 2020 when sales were pushed to later in the year because of the pandemic, it's well above the previous 3 years. So the takeaway for you is there are purchasers in the market and they're ready and willing to buy. Number 2, other sellers plan to list earlier this year. And the law of supply and demand tells us that if you want the best price that's possible and to negotiate your ideal contract terms, put your house on the market when there's a strong demand and less competition. So a recent study by Realtor.com reveals that unlike previous years, sellers plan to list their home this winter instead of waiting until spring or summer. And the study shows that 65% of sellers who plan to sell in 2022 have either already listed their home or are planning to put it on the market this winter. So again, if you're looking for the best price and the best ability to negotiate the other terms of the sale of your house, then listing it before this competition hits the market makes the most sense. Number 3, the newly constructed homes will be your competition this spring. In 2021, there were tons of new single-family housing units authorized by building permits, and many of those homes have yet to be built because of labor shortages, supply bottlenecks, and everything brought on by the pandemic. But they will, however, be completed in 2022, and that will create additional competition when you sell your house. So beating these newly constructed homes to the market is something that you should consider to ensure your house gets as much attention from interested buyers as possible. Number 4, there will never be a better time to move up. If you're moving into a larger, more expensive home, consider doing it now because prices are projected to appreciate by approximately 5% over the next 12 months. And that means it'll cost you a lot more, both in down payment and your mortgage payment, if you wait. You can also lock in your 30-year housing expense with a mortgage rate in the low 3s right now. So if you're thinking of selling in 2022, you may want to do it now instead of waiting, as mortgage rates are forecasted to rise throughout the year. And 5, it may be time for you to make a change. So consider why you're thinking of selling a home in the first place and determine whether it's worth waiting. Is waiting more important than being closer to your loved ones right now? Is waiting more important than your health? Is waiting more important than having the space that you truly need? Well, only you know the answers to these questions, but take the time to think about your goals and priorities as we move into 2022 and consider what's most important to act on now. So the bottom line is, if you've been debating whether or not to sell your house and you're curious about the market conditions in your specific part of town, let's connect so you have expert advice that you can use to make the best decision for yourself. So together we can do it. Send me a text, an email, a DM. I look forward to hearing from you.